Hello my fellow travelers! Today I rounded up a few of my most used Korean phrases while I was in Korea. Okay, so let me just start off this video by saying I am in no way a Korean teacher. If you're looking for the proper and grammatical way of saying things, this is not the place. To be completely honest, most of my Korean is actually self-taught. I learned it from watching dramas, variety shows, listening to K-pop. I might have consumed too much media, but at least I gained something from it. I don't know. I will leave some recs at the end of this video for people that I watch who have really helped me in my practical use of Korean and also just learning Korean in general. A common concern that I've seen is like people are worried that their level of proficiency is not high enough to actually get around. And I'm here to tell you, you do not need a high level proficiency of Korean to get around Korea. People are very well educated and they actually understand English quite well. They might not speak it fluently or willingly, but they can understand it, and that's all you really need, to be very honest. That and Papago. Papago will be your best friend in your pocket when you are in a time of need. That being said, it does not hurt to have a few phrases up your sleeve, you know, to make this process of getting around a little bit easier. And most of the conversations were very, very formulaic, so I was able to get through very basic interactions with people since I had to do those same interactions on a daily basis. Did I just repeat myself? Maybe. But let's get to it. The first one is going to be very, very, very basic. You want to know your hellos and goodbyes. So to say hello is 안녕하세요, 안녕하세요. I have also picked up the habit of doing a little head nod or little bow whenever I say this, along with like thank yous and goodbyes as a sign of like respect. And so when you're saying goodbye, what you can say is 안녕히 계세요, which literally means like I hope you stay in peace. This is what you say when you are the one leaving and the person is remaining. Again, hello, 안녕하세요, goodbye, 안녕히 계세요. Second thing that I say the most is, of course, thank you or no thank you, along with like yes or no. To say thank you is 감사합니다. And if you break it out by characters, actually 감사합니다. When you're saying it, it kind of flows all together, so it kind of sounds like 감사합니다. Just as a tip, I guess, if you want to sound more fluent. So 감사합니다. A lot of the times I actually use this in place of like saying goodbye, especially when I'm leaving like shops and restaurants. I thank them for their services essentially. The next is like, of course, the flip side of no thank you. If people are offering you things, then you can say 괜찮습니다, which is like I'm okay. And that's kind of like my way of saying no thanks. So that 괜찮습니다, 괜찮아요. Of course, how to say yes or no. Yes is 네, and no is 아니요. If people are confirming their orders with you, and you can confirm back with a 네. Or if they are asking you questions like, are you Korean? And I'm like, 아니요. The next phrase that I use most often is asking, how much is this? Usually you would think that in order to ask how much it is, you should know numbers and stuff so that when they reply, you have an idea. My numbers are really, really bad. Like I get them mixed up all the time, especially because they don't go by like thousands, they go by 10,000. So like everything is like 만원, which is like whatever, like 10,000, 20,000. To ask how much is this, it would be 이거 얼마예요? 이거 얼마예요? So yeah, my numbers are really bad. So typically when the salesperson replies how much it is, it takes me a minute to like figure out exactly what it is. But if you're not that good with numbers, this is when miming comes in handy. You can be like, get creative. So another phrase that I use quite a bit is when I'm ordering, you know, after you ask how much it is, you want to order it or you want to buy it, you go, 이거 하나 주세요. 이거 세개 주세요. 이거 however many you want, you know? This is when numbers comes in a little bit handy, but 하나 is one, so this one please is the literal translation. 이거 하나 주세요. 이거 하나 주세요. And 주세, whatever 주세요 is also a very, very helpful phrase to have because 주세요 is like kind of like please give me. So if you want to ask for help, you could be like 도와주세요. 도와주세요. Okay, this next one is my new favorite phrase. I used it so much and it's kind of like a three-part phrase and it's a little bit more advanced, but if you can say it, it can get you places. What I say is like, sorry, I am a foreigner. Can you speak English? My Korean is not good. So this is a great way to start asking for help because a lot of the times when I enter a store and I want to ask the sales associate something, and this happened actually when I went to buy glasses, I like wanted her opinion on like which style fit me the best, but it was really hard for me to vocalize or communicate my thoughts. So I was like, how do I ask her if I can speak in English, because I don't want to just like bombard her with English and make her get all frazzled. So I'd rather like ask her, hey, can you speak English, or is it okay if I speak English? And then we can kind of try to communicate that way. And I think this is a harder situation to navigate because I am Asian, so a lot of people automatically assume that I'm Korean and just start speaking to me in Korean, and I'm like, I don't know, 몰라요. If you are also a fellow Asian, you might also run across these situations, so this phrase might come in handy for you. The phrase is, sorry, I'm a foreigner, which is 죄송해요, 저는 외국인이에요. 죄송해요, 저는 외국인이에요. Can you speak English? Is English okay? 영어도 돼요. 영어도 돼요. And then for my Korean is not good is 한국말 잘 못해요. 한국말 잘 못해요. Or you can say 한국말 못해요 is like I can't Korean. 한국말 못해요. Altogether, this is kind of like what I would say to approach someone. Like 죄송해요, 저는 외국인이에요. 혹시 is like maybe. 혹시 영어도 돼요? 한국말 잘 못해요. It's kind of like a spiel of like, hey, I'm a foreigner. Can you speak English because my Korean is sucky and I need help. Or you can use it separately, like if someone approaches you and asks and like just starts spouting Korean at you, you'll be like, 죄송해요, 외국인이에요. Like I've had people come up to me and ask me for direction. I'm like, 죄송해요, 저는 외국인이에요, 잘 몰라요. Like I don't know. This last one was actually one that took me by surprise when I went to Korea the first few times. I would think that my Korean is pretty okay to get by on a day-to-day because clearly I'm still alive. Before I went to Korea, I was totally in the mindset of like, oh yeah, I totally know how to order. I can be like, 이거 얼마예요? 하나 주세요. And like, yeah, 감사합니다. But then they hit you with the 영수증 필요합니다. And I'm like, what? Eh? 필요합니다 is like, do you need it? And I'm like, what do I need? So what they were asking is, do you want the receipt? Every single time this happens in real life, I'm always so taken aback. And then they're just like pointing at the receipt printer like, do you want this? When you pay at a cafe or whatever, this is something that will most likely happen at the end of your conversation. They'll tell you how much it was, you give them the card, and then they'll be like swiping it, and then they'll be like 영수증 필요합니다, and then you can be like 괜찮습니다, or 네 감사합니다, and then take it. Yes, did it. This is also a really good thing to know because then you know how to ask for it too. If you do need the receipt, you can be like 영수증 부탁드립니다, which is like, please give me the receipt. So aside from these basic phrases, I really haven't had to use much Korean. I wish that I could have used more of my Korean, to be very honest, so that I can practice it more. But a lot of the times, if it's like the younger generation that you're interacting with, once they find out that you're a foreigner and speaks English, they'll automatically like switch to English to try to make things easier for you, which is like really, really helpful. But then at the same time, I'm like, I want to practice too. A few of the resources that I personally like to use to practice Korean and to learn more Korean is, one, Talk to Me in Korean. They have a huge library of videos, and also they have like audio lessons on Spotify. I really like to use Talk to Me in Korean to learn about grammar rules and stuff like that. I think they're really great at breaking that down. The next resource I would recommend is Korean Onni. Korean Onni videos are really great at breaking down phrases to use by topic. So if you're looking for a certain situation and like things that you could say, like you want to get a haircut but you don't know the phrases that you might need to know, she is a really great resource to use. The last resource I want to share is Korean with Ina. I don't know about her long form videos, but I follow a lot of her like reels and TikToks. They break a lot of the stuff into bite-sized pieces for me to consume. Plus, a lot of the topics that she covers are very real life applications. Like she talks a lot about slang and like trendy words that people use these days, so that if you run across them, you know exactly what they mean. So yeah, those are the three resources I would recommend to people who are actually interested in learning more Korean and learning Korean properly. That is like the downside of being self-taught, I think, because a lot of the stuff that I say is based off of what I think sounds right, based off of what I have heard. Like, I've heard people use this in this kind of way or in this phrase completely, then that's how I will like regurgitate it. I don't actually know the different like formal forms, like what is the conjugation and all of that, but I think I get my idea across. I don't know. Korean speakers, don't come at me, please. Anyways, the whole purpose of this video is not to teach you how to say things. Do not learn from me. It is literally to show you that, one, you don't need a high level proficiency of Korean. Two, you can get by with really broken Korean. And three, to show you like the different situations where I've had to actually use Korean. So, I hope that this was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Korea travel tips. I will see you guys next time. Bye! Be like, 영수증 부탁드립니다. I did not say that right. 영수증 부탁. I'm so bad at this. Why am I making this video? 부탁드립니다. Oh, that was so hard. Goodbye.